How we doing, people? Um, just this. I'm gonna try and keep this video really short. Um, it's 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I don't observe the Sabbath on a Sunday because that's sun worship. I observe the Sabbath on the Shabbat, which is a Saturday. So I'm allowed to work on this day. Right now, I've just recently seen a video on YouTube which is pretty much proved my theory about an application being used in society by a larger network that keep in contact with each other like a net which circles a target individual. Now, I'd always noticed that my picture would come up on their screen. A lot of these perps, these people that have signed up to this community watch, security grid, whatever you want to call it, they have applications. I don't know the names of them. I'd love to get my hands on their phone, but I do believe these applications are also concealed in hidden folders and whatnot. They're very, very careful. So, look, I don't want to discredit these people that say they got microchips in them because I don't know 100% if that's true or not, but I genuinely believe that they don't need microchips. I genuinely believe that it's all ground-based surveillance. I mean, if you just want to go look at the CIA and all other intelligence agencies' modes of conduct and how they surveillance and counter surveillance, it's very, very similar to what we're going through as a TI, but except they've trained civilians to carry out these surveillance techniques. I do believe that the handlers have some type of formal training in intelligence, security, police, defense, or whatnot, something like that. But they also are handled by another handler who is part of some security agency or intelligence agencies or whatever you want to call them. So when I jump on the bus, I'm waiting at the bus stop. The bus driver has already been notified that I'm going to get on the bus. Okay? And the bus driver has already told the other passengers on the bus. Now, some of the passengers on the bus are perps. Sometimes all the passengers on the bus are perps. It's just unbelievable, and it's like a very, very large list of people that have signed up on some internet website. They've put their name and they think, oh, I might get extra cash because I'm sitting on the dole or I'm sitting at home on a disability pension and this extra bit of cash can help. So if I walk past certain zones, yeah, like a geofence, yeah, as soon as I walk past them, ding, they're notified and they come out, you see. But if I also tell someone, I'm not going to say their names because I love this person, the person gave birth to me. If I see that person tell them where I'm going, booyah, that person will make contact with the larger network at hand and booyah. You see, this is what Freemasons do. I come from a Freemason family. I watched my uncle used to run up and open the window and the blind and hear a little tick, a little noise outside because he knew what perps are because that was his job, to perp the fuck out of people until they kill themselves. Now, am I wrong for disclosing this information? Yes, I love my family. I love my uncle. I can't help it. So they looked after me. They're first faces that I've seen growing up. But I disagree with their practices, okay? If I disagree with my family's practices, that means if I disagree with other people's practices and I'm going to say it to them, they better not get upset with me, okay? So just like the Shia community who are coming after me because I've just said that they're Shia and they're coming after me. You know, the absolute hatred, the look on their face, the kahar from their heart, they look at me like, oh my God, and they think that ISIS is bad. The look's coming off their face. Is it my fault that I don't support any network? Is it my fault that I choose to carve my own path? Is it my fault that I'm my own trailblazer? That I'm my own pioneer? That I like to do things my way? I do things my own way. I like to do my own thing. But anyway, these applications are real. Okay? They're real. I believe that TIs need to get signal jammers. RFID signal jammers with the 4 antennas at the top and all the little dials. Yeah, use them. Use them. Keep them on you. Turn them on, because when you're walking, it shields you in like a radius. I'm not too sure how far the range is depending on the device. but if but if you cease their communications, if you disable their communications, they aren't going to be able to receive orders from their handlers and from the larger network at hand. Okay? You got to destroy their communications, because they are attacking our communications. We can't communicate online without them tampering with it. We can't communicate on the phone without them intercepting. I mean, they use stingray towers. They do all sorts of things to disrupt our communication. If a network can't communicate, that means the network can't progress. Okay, we can't progress. Do you know what I mean? So I also do believe that TIs have to also develop our own language. TIs have to develop a language that they don't understand, which might be very, very hard to do, because it takes a long time to write a language and teach it. But just like in World War II, I think it is, when the Americans used the American Indians, or the native indigenous peoples, as to transfer codes, because the Japanese didn't understand the native tongue, so they used the indigenous tongue language to pass codes on, and that was very, very successful. The enemy could never crack the code, even if it was over a radio. When they catch the radio waves and they intercept the message, they still weren't able to translate it. They couldn't crack the code, and that's what helped the war effort. So we need to do that. TIs need to study war. Study war tactics, okay? Study where armies went wrong and failed, and study where armies succeeded and were victorious. You see, we're not the ones that have started this war. We are victims. And as Rambo said, they drew first blood, not me. Pretty much it. Adios.